everybody. It's your boy PeeJae Fuego, a modern day Maya Angelou, dressing like Kanye West and speaking like Malcolm X, everybody. And I want to welcome you to another episode of The Hot Seat with PeeJae Fuego. And on today's Hot Talks, baby, because you know I always bring it to a panel discussion, and my panel discussion is called Hot Talks, but I don't just have a panel, baby. I have the most exclusive guest that you can ever lay your eyes upon, okay? That's Miss No Face, No Case, Tavia Tierin, baby. How are you, baby?
Hello.
Hey, it's like, where in the world is Tavia?
Thank you for
Now,
having me.
Thank you for making time for me at such short notice. So now I do want to introduce this topic. The topic that we're talking about today, everybody, is pandemic relationships and how has dating changed within this pandemic. So I'm sure that everyone's still in the middle of lockdowns. Everyone's worried about getting the vaccine. Who's vaccinated? Who isn't vaccinated? Being worried about all those different things. Tavia, how has dating changed for you? If it has.
Dating has changed for me in a way where I find that more men, they do this thing where we can't really go certain places, at least before the restrictions were, before they eased up on the restrictions. But it was, I could just come by you because, I have my own space or whatever. I could just come by you or, no.
No thanks.
And
Like, why are you trying to jump all the stages?
Right. Everything is just sped up now, and I don't like it.
Now, I would say for me, dating has changed dramatically a lot because, well, being a guy of a certain je ne sais quoi, I'm not per se hunting online or going on video chats or popping up to every bar, but it does put a lot of things in perspective because I guess to say how I would date, I find myself having to pick and choose those battles very wisely now and being mindful of a person's intentions. Because I do think that people's intentions do get a little bit swayed when they're, I guess, deprived that access, deprived that sense of socializing with persons on a regular. So instead of us always linking up at insert bar here on a Friday or Saturday night, it's now like literally the food store. Or if we go out, it's literally at the testing center. Or dates these days are going to get vaccinated. So it's being mindful of that now.
And you forget when you
No, go ahead, please.
you forget that part of the pandemic when everyone was sneaking out after hours. And if you
No, talk to me because you know that now that I'm not at the said news place anymore, you know that I find myself still using my said essential ID for just in case purposes, and I don't want to talk to myself too much. Because you never know, they may need me to cover the news. They may need me to cover the news. You just never know, and if depending on where I am and who's asking, I'm either going to the station or coming from the station. But I think what makes this even more interesting in terms of a pentatonic relationship, a Panera Bread relationship, or in the middle of a pentagon, you do find yourself a bit. I think it's very mindful that people, I guess, differentiate their feelings where there's something that's genuine and where there be kind of like that flesh calling, if that makes sense, rather than when really you just want to hokey poke, and rather than just saying you actually want to get to know somebody. And it's very, very kind of double standard in a sense, because it makes you think like, okay, I want to, get to know this person. I want to involve myself with this person, but at the same time, this person probably just want a quick little fix just because they haven't had in a while, or their little thing isn't essential. Like, what are some pros and cons you think
or
people
projecting?
Face? Yes. What are some pros and cons you think people face now in terms of like even with their, I don't know why a pandemic just stays in my mind like a pandemic, but in pandemic relationship, what do you think some people, I guess, are some pros and cons of being a part of it?
You know what? I just think that with this whole pandemic thing, I think people just need to I don't want to say really focus on yourself, but this is the perfect time to really do some inner work and then try to date bait. Because as you can see within the past year, I mean, I know people hooking up and having all kind of kids, like having babies, just out of nowhere.
Right. This is
And
a
I mean,
fertile pandemic, okay?
no offense or whatever to
Like,
them and all the best and all that, but shit,
right.
like,
Shout out to my producer. But yes, go.
real talk. Like, this is the perfect opportunity to do the inner work day. And a lot of people, like we said, are projecting and all of that. So I can't deal with that. I already know
Yeah,
what I
no,
have
that's
to
not
get. I ain't into that. And on top of that,
that.
I have AC in my place. Never.
Oh, you want me to sacrifice my AC? Oh no. Oh no, sorry. I'm gonna have to pass on that. but I think for certain situations in pandemics, I know there are a lot of folks who are having the privilege of hiding their pregnancy now. It's kind of like the joke where it says like date, marry in private, and then you pop out pregnant, pop out married, pop out with everything, like you're busting an Issa Rae. That you're already fully ready to go and you have everything that you need to work on without that sense of distraction. Now, with that, I guess with that point, do you think that a lot of folks were distracted when it comes to their relationship? That's why they wasn't able to give people their full 100%?
Yes, I do. I do feel like a lot of people have been distracted. And I mean, you know what? Boy, PeeJae, that's a good question though.
No, that's a
Because you have
great
people who
question.
it is. You have people on one hand who are distracted or who were distracted. And then you have people who realize that it's not really what they want. And that's
Right.
really not what they chase and what they realize, like, okay, this doesn't make me happy. So,
It's kind of
how
double
do you
edged.
feel about it? How do you feel about it?
It's kind of double-edged sword because in one token you have folks in the pandemic or who foster relationships within the pandemic. I think you have the full opportunity to get to know somebody. We don't have to go out. We don't have to say go to fancy dinners. We can authentically be ourselves amongst each other, and we can fall in love with ourselves.
I
But
know
also at
you.
the same
You making me want to.
no. But in the other hand, it's one of those things like if I don't know how you're gonna react around like my friends, or you don't know how you carry on in public, or let's say with me, my mom or my parents, those like I can't per se think of like a full family with you or a full like relationship, because then it's that ideology of that we haven't entered every dynamic with each other, or at least the dynamics that count, if you ask me. So and it makes it kind of it's a, like I said before, it's a gamble. It's the roll of dice that you play because you never know what you're gonna get. Because mind you, home could be a sweet home, but then when you actually go out to then introduce the world to who you're building a home with, it's kind of like, okay, like now it's no longer just you and I. When it was just me and you in the four walls or whatever we did amongst ourselves, it's now that your friends are coming over, the place is opening back up again. You don't want to stay home. You want to do a little more now, and it's like, okay. What if, like, after post-pandemic, I found that you're broke? Like, or that you don't know how to dress, or... Sorry, that sounds so shallow, but those are things, like...
No,
those are things I need to know.
For sure. And that's why people start calling other people, like, their little movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what is a movie? What is a little movie?
I don't want to be someone's movie. I want to be someone. Like, I don't want to be a blockbuster. Like, what the hell? I want to be your someone. And I think even with the pandemic, on the bright side of it, it gives a chance of self-reflection. It gives a lot of chance for folks to actually hone in on what they actually really want. And it's one of the things like, if you have access to the sugar pot too much, of course you're gonna get cavities. And rather than if you get a chance to actually hone yourself and control how, I guess, those worldly needs or even those flesh desires, kind of, because I mean, let's just say we all have a favorite little movie that we love to watch. So hey, it be like that.
That part.
And sometimes those movies, and I say movies figuratively as for somebody, sometimes those movies may only serve certain purposes when I am doing X, Y, and Z, when I'm feeling at 1, 2, and 3, when I feel like doing A, B, and C. And it's like, wait, right, your company. Thank you, yes. and it's when you lose access to that, you then actually realize, do you actually really like this person? Do you actually see a future with this person? Do you actually, like, do you really want this person on your skin for real?
Real.
And
some movies we just put on to go to sleep. So that part.
And I think that's the saddest part about it. That's the part that makes it most conscious. So I do have to ask though, and I can't help but ask. I want to talk about the sneaky links in the pandemic relationships, because those are defined as relationships as well. And we mentioned it when people were sneaking out.
Ooh.
Do you think people are still cheating in a pandemic? While you think on that, let me top you up one more time. With people cheating in a pandemic, do you think that, people are people are risking happy homes in their pandemic?
I think that people are realizing that they aren't happy. That's what I think is going on. I think that they are realizing that and you know what? Let's just take it deeper. They are realizing that they cannot be in monogamous relationships. They are realizing that the person who probably, catered to their financial needs or like family needs don't really cater to them sexually or romantically. Like, they realizing all of that, and it has those people just going haywire. They out here sneaky linking.
I just think in this day and age, in a pandemic, I can't sneaky link. I can't. What, you want me to catch the Coco Delta times 2?
PeeJae, I'm a grown woman. I ain't going to sneak.
No, don't get me wrong now. If you're sneaking, that's fine. But I think when people do that whole sneaky link thing, it's like off of a fresh face, or people like, oh, you fine, I can just tell you fine behind this mask. See my number here. And it's like, are you doing COVID tests too at home? Are you doing like an antigen in the backyard then, while they wait? Because then you can't be slobbing and knobbing, kissing and throbbing. And then it's like, what's happening here?
Right.
So I think it's more so coming along. I think a lot of folks are getting more responsible, or if that's a good term to use, responsible in their sneaky linking. You have folks who don't find themselves just hopping from bed to bed or going places to places, but are actually saying that, hey, are you vaccinated? Hey, what's happening? And speaking of, if in your pandemic dating and pandemic relationships, is being vaccinated a make or break these days?
Yes, it is for me, because I just feel comfortable knowing that the person is vaccinated, or even thinking about it.
Yeah.
But be against it? No, I can't.
Yeah.
Sorry. I cannot entertain you if you are against vaccinations.
Yeah, I don't mind you not having it now, or I don't mind you not doing so, but having your, I guess, because there are valid reasons why people can't get vaccinated or don't get vaccinated, and if it isn't any of those reasons, then, but to be totally against it, like, oh, I can't have children, or they try to microchip us if you put a magnet to your skin. What? Oh. No, what? Are you negative? I'm sorry. Are you a doctor? And if you are not a doctor, then why are you speaking like that? Like, so I know I totally get that, and that would be kind of make or break. That's kind of like the That's the new Are You Shallow, or the new feeling of, hey, what's happening? And it's like, okay, where do you go, or what's happening now? And it's like, where do you go, what other point do you go on for that? So I think with our pandemic relationships, we've definitely gotten a chance to open up our dating criteria from what once upon a time was, you gotta be 6'4", 200 something pounds to roll, you gotta be this and that, light skin, pretty, all that good stuff, and then we go from there. But I do think pandemic relationships are a thing, but I don't want people confused that because when I hear pandemic relationships, I hear trauma bonding, and the fact that me and you stuck inside the house, then like me and you should do something since me and you stuck inside the house, you know?
We might as well, right?
Yeah, and no, we might as not.
No.
Like, no, you do.
No.
Like, what? Like, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you fine and yeah, you cute, but like, not just because I bored.
Like, I don't even know you. I don't even
Yeah.
know you. How you trying to link up? I don't even know you, bro.
And then a lot of folks are taking that time to tap into Facebook friends and talking to people online and linking up that way. No way. So you, I guess my best advice, I'd say, is just if you're in a pandemic situation, if your relationship blossomed during the pandemic, kudos to you. But at the same time, you want to make sure that the person is for you, that you are for the person, and that those intentions, or that he or she's intention is in blah 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 blah. Sorry, run that back. You want to make sure that he or she's intention is genuine and authentic towards you. Lost my words just now. So you can't be lost in that type of sauce. But what advice would you give folks as we wrap up here, Miss Tavia Tierin?
PeeJae, honestly, you hit the nail on the head with being intentional. Listen to me. From this pandemic started, I have been walking in intention. That is the only energy that I accept around me. Literally, because there are people out here who are trying to suck your energy and your life out of you because of what they are dealing with. Focus on yourself. Word to Shadi. I cannot explain that enough. Focus on yourself.
No, for real. And that's a fabulous note to end on, because if you can't focus, if you can't focus on yourself, how you can focus on other people? If you can't pour into yourself, how are you going to pour into someone else? If you are 50%, how can you be someone's 100? So talk to me nice in that, man, and don't go to your trauma bonding, or don't find yourself establishing pandemic relationships or situationships or sneaky links just because we soon open back. Get vaccinated. We soon open back up. Get ready for it. So Tavia, how can the folks find you? Give us your social media handles, everything, all the good stuff.
You can follow me at Tavia Tierin on Twitter, and Tavia Tierin on Facebook, and Tavia Tierin on IG.
Well, my folks, Tavia, thank you so much. My folks, it's been a modern day Maya Angelou, dressing like Kanye West and speaking like Malcolm X, everybody. I want to thank you again for sitting and tuning in for another episode of The Hot Seat with PeeJae Fuego. Make sure you guys are following us on all our social media platforms. That's PeeJae Fuego. And until the very next time, everybody, see you later.